to get we want everyone to get a copy of the Mesilat Yesharim so we can be medayek in the Lashon properly. And he says that a person has to be tbarer v'tamet etzel ha'adam ma chuvato b'olamo. That it has to be clear and it has to be true etzel ha'adam. And we were medayek that it means it has to be clear to you as the individual. It has to be true to you as the individual what your obligation is in your world. He doesn't say it has to be clear to you what man's obligation is in the world. Obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has some intention of what he wants for mankind. No, we say that a person has to have it clear to you what Hashem wants from you in your world. It's possible that what Ramchal is trying to say is that it's not good enough for a person merely to receive a certain tradition and accept it as is. I want to be clear about this because we're not looking for problems. We're not looking for a person to question the tradition that he receives. But we're saying that a person has to accept the tradition that we received about what our role is in this world, but at the same time you have to make it yours. You accept it and then you make it yours. A person has to engage his own brain, his own thoughts in trying to understand what is it all about. It's true that the Gedolim understand what the world is all about, what mankind's role is. But at the same time, what does that do for me? I have to understand it. It has to make sense to me. Again, not that a person is trying to undermine or question the principles that we're receiving from the Gedolim, but we're trying to build on it and acquire it for ourselves. Hope this is clear. Let me give you a mashal which brought down Chavot Halavot in the beginning. Chavot Halavot is very, very big into this concept of a person processing things through his own understanding and brain. He gives a mashal for, let's say there will be a king who has a minister, and this minister is in charge of finance. And the king says to the minister, okay, we just did a big tax collection. I want you to tell me what the revenue was. How much do we bring in? I give you 1 month to complete the task. How much profit do we make off taxes? So the minister goes home, he has a month, he gets his boys, his sons together, his nephews, and he says, okay, here's all the money that we collected from taxes. I want you to count it and let me know what the number is. So after 1 month's time, and the minister pays his sons and he pays all the workers to do it, they give him a final tally. After 1 month's time, the minister returns back to the king, and the king says, how much do we make off taxes? The minister gives them a figure. He lets them know how much the taxes amounted to. The king says, you can't do it yourself? He says, no, I outsourced it. I gave it to someone else to count. What does that reflect to the king? What would the king feel about the fact that the minister didn't take charge, didn't take the responsibility,
trusted him,
and do it himself? It's like, wait, so how do you know what they told you was correct? Did you check their work? Did you go over it? Ultimately, did you take personal responsibility for the information that they gave you? Or you just accepted what they said and you went with it? The Chavot Halavot says, and we really do have to emphasize the point so it shouldn't be misunderstood. But the Chavot Halavot says it's the same thing when it comes to the principles that the Ramchal is referring to, that we have to get clear in order to matzliach in this world. Of course, we've received information, we've received clarity that all the Sfarim are filled with proper information guiding us for what we need to know, what this world is all about. But at the same time, it's there for us to make that information our own. We have to consider, we have to process it. What do we say on Lil Pesach? חייב כל אדם, בכל דברו, according to the Rambam, להראות את עצמו, לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים. Pesach is not just merely recognizing and recalling how Kadosh Baruch Hu took out our grandparents from Mitzrayim. If we want to have the same effect, if we want to have the same impact of what Pesach has to offer as what our grandparents achieved by going through Mitzrayim, we have to also imagine that it happened to us. We have to make it our own. Yetziat Mitzrayim has to be something that exists for all of us. That's emunah. We believe emunah because our grandparents told us and they're telling us the truth. And great people told us about HaKadosh Baruch Hu is echad u'miuchad. But at the same time, we have to also make it our own. We have to be lirot et atzmo ki'ilu hu yatsa mitzrayim. I have to experience it myself as much as possible. Look around the world. Look around the globe. Look around the Bri'ah. Look around the creation that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made. Investigate it. Analyze it. And come to the conclusion also, not on your own, but also come to the conclusion of what all the Chachamim are telling us. Come to the conclusion that, wow, Hashem is one. He is the only one that could have possibly created this world. That's what the Ramchal is telling us. He's not telling us to abandon all the information that's been said before us and reinvent the wheel and wonder and consider and ponder what our mission is. The Ramchal is telling us, no, take all the information that's been given to you, but then make it your own. Go through that process with the information and realize who you are, who HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to be, why we're here in this world, what purpose we have, what is our goal, what is our mission, what is our task, what are we here to accomplish. The Sfarim already know it, but our job is that we have to take that information and somehow make it our own, acquire that for ourselves. We all know, I think there's a famous phrase, I don't have it exactly down, but like, if you tell a person something, so they hear. If you teach them something, so then they know. But if you involve them, then it becomes them. It becomes who they are. It becomes part of who they are. When you get involved yourself and you acquire the information, look at the flower, look at the sky, look at the animals, look at the precision of every stage of life, look at the human body and see how precisely, what an awesome, awesome work the human body is. And you come to your own stage of hitpa'alut, your own stage of being emotionalized and impressed, like HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Bri'ah, that's coming and making the same information your own. That's what Ramchal is telling us. It has to be Ta'amed Etzel Ha'adam. It has to be that it's true to you. It has to be that it makes sense to you. Not that I'm reinventing the wheel. Not that I'm abandoning and ignoring all the information so I can come to my own answers. That's not what Ramchal is saying. But he's saying, take that information and experience it on your own level. And in that way, you'll be inspired to understand what your role is in this world.